welcome back to another episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, and today I'm happy to bring you issue 33, Hawkman. And here is yet another character like Aquaman who is very underrated and underappreciated, I think, in the DC universe, as well as in comics in general. He's a great hero. He has a fascinating origin. He's been around for forever. He's had countless interpretations, and there's a very interesting reason behind that, because this is a hero who is reincarnated over and over and over again throughout history. He's not always Hawkman, but he's always been some kind of hero. So it's a pretty interesting character, honestly. He's also had sort of a convoluted continuity, but I will say that DC did streamline him pretty well and redid his origin on some level, I suppose you could say, during an event called 0 Hour, but eventually they got him straightened out pretty well, and he was a great character, still is, as a matter of fact. But I will say that of all the characters in the DCU, he is probably the most deserving of a completely rebooted origin. Anyway, that being said, first we'll dive into the magazine of the character here, which will cover everything we need to know about Mr. Carter Hall. And then we will look at the figure itself, covering the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's a really great character, a beautiful, beautiful figure, as you will see shortly. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy issue number 33 of the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, Hawkman. First up, we have the character section. And we find that once upon a time, in 1290 BC, an Egyptian prince named Khufumant Ketar and his fiancée, Shaira, found a downed alien spacecraft. And they found they could defy gravity wearing these new harnesses that Khufu had fashioned, and the two became the defenders of the realm, even working side by side with then-hero Teth Adam. Ketar and Shaira would also learn from the magician Nabu that they had been cursed hundreds of years before by an evil high priest known as Hath Set. The magazine also takes a quick look at some of the other incarnations of Hawkman, and in some instances Hawkgirl, that passed down through the ages. And then, in 1939, an amateur archaeologist known as Carter Hall discovered an ancient Egyptian dagger that gave him strange dreams. Shortly after discovering who he truly was, Hawkman encountered the reincarnation of the evil Hath Set, now a mad scientist calling himself Anton Hastor. He and Shaira also went on to defeat Anton Hastor and seemingly break their curse of reincarnation. Carter was also a founding member of the Justice Society of America, whom he fought alongside for more than a decade. He also went on to join up with the Justice League, becoming close friends with fellow hero the Atom. So this evil hawk god is let loose upon the universe accidentally, and he tries to take over the body of Carter Hall, using him as an avatar of destruction. The evil hawk god then attempted to absorb the aspects of not only Carter, but also Katar and Shayera to become an even more powerful being. But he didn't count on Carter Hall's human spirit being so powerful, and Carter actually overcame the hawk god, took control of this new amalgamated body, and actually banished the hawk god into an other-dimensional void. The last couple pages talk a little bit more about some of Hawkman's villains. Carter also fell in love with the new Hawk Girl, Kendra Saunders, who, of course, turned out to be the reincarnation of Shayera. Carter also became the curator of the Stone Chat Museum in Louisiana. He also continues to serve with both the Justice Society and Justice League, serving as liaison for the two teams. Next, we have a couple of Hawkman's classic storylines. First up, JSA, The Return of Hawkman. And this story is extremely important to the character because it took Hawkman's complex and sort of convoluted continuity and streamlined it. Not only was this Hawkman's return to the DC Universe in the comic book world, but it was also a chance for writers David Goyer and Jeff Johns to fix a lot of the inconsistencies that the character had suffered over the years, and they did a fantastic job of it. They wrote an absolutely epic tale that is a definitive Hawkman story and must be checked out. We also have Hawkman, Rise of the Golden Eagle. And this story focuses on a character known as Golden Eagle, who claimed to be Carter's son from a previous relationship. It opens with Hawkman returning to Earth after fighting off in an intergalactic war somewhere. He is attacked by almost every villain he has. He fakes his death with help from Shayera in order to uncover who the mastermind behind this attack on him was, only to find that it was Golden Eagle. And Golden Eagle isn't who everyone thinks he is. It's actually a really interesting story. It's one of probably the worst ordeals that Hawkman has ever had to face, and it's definitely a story worth checking out. Hawkman's Allies and Enemies section is a really nice mix, featuring great shots of the Atom and Adam Strange. And finally, the Original Thinking section continues the DC timeline with Part 24, The Magic Goes Away. And this section discusses how the gods, like Zeus and Odin, found their magical abilities dwindling as humanity began to place more faith in themselves and technology than in the supernatural gods. Finally, we see the Amazons triumphing over Heracles, who had attempted to invade and rule over their paradise of Themyscira. Unbeknownst to him, he was being manipulated by his evil half-brother, Ares. And here we have Hawkman, and my god, this figure is incredible. I don't think I have seen this level of detail on one of the regular issue figures since Scarecrow, honestly. He is amazingly detailed. He's definitely up there with Scarecrow, Martian Manhunter, Joker, Green Arrow. I mean, with just a sheer amount of detail on this guy, he's insane. And his size as well. I mean, he could have easily been a special edition figure for, well, as far as I care, honestly. He's really, really nicely done. Every little bit of him is so meticulously perfect. I mean, it's so detailed, meticulously detailed. There's what I was trying to say. I love the Hawkman symbol they chose. He's had a ton of different symbols, so, you know, there's no one right logo for him, and I absolutely love this one. It's one of the more aggressive hawk logos. You can see that the jaw is very wide open, and then that's the tongue of the hawk in the center there. I had to be explained that once upon a time, so I thought I'd share. And just his wings are so gorgeous. He's a beautiful figure. He really is. And the wings on his helmet as well, which it's a bronze or metal helmet, so it's not really wings. So just the detail is outstanding. And then the actual wings really are great too. You can see there's just a little hint of like a brownish whoosh through some of the wings here. It's mostly gray, but there's just a hint of it. And the feathering detail, like the feather in the cap of Green Arrow, is just gorgeous. It's so perfect. I love the costume that they went with. It's sort of a blending of the classic and the more modern, with the darker reds and greens and yellows and the brown belt. And he looks very aggressive and very tough. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. It's wonderful. The mace, as you can see, is a little bit bent, but that's how it came, and trust me, the majority of them, from what I've heard, have come broken. But, I mean, he's just beautiful, all the way down to his boots, and the mock talons on the front of the boots there. Really, really outstanding figure. I think it's a must-have in the collection. A great character who, like Aquaman, is so underrated and so underappreciated. And right now he's finally starting, I think, to get the treatment he deserves. But anyway, great figure, better pictures here in just a second. Hawkman stands atop the DC logo, and on the underside of the base is his name along with serial number. A quick shot of Hawkman with the other members of the Justice Society. As well as a shot of him with the Justice League. Hawkman is one of the most outstanding figures in this line. He just brings a smile to my face. I can't help but have a big silly grin when I look at this figure. He's absolutely perfect. He's everything I wanted out of a Hawkman figure. He's a great character. He's an outstanding figure in this line. The good. Every single thing about this guy is fantastic. The head sculpt is great. I love the fact that his face is under the mask. You can see his mouth, his chin, his ears coming out of the sides of his helmet. Also, I love the helmet. It's very aggressive looking. It's angular. I love the point on the beak. I love the winged ears on it. It is so, so cool. His harness also is amazingly detailed. You can see the buckles under the arms, and they even detailed the silver rivets on the harness itself. Even the ones that lead to his wings, they put silver riveting there where no one's even really going to look unless you are really, really looking at this thing. It's intense. Also, around the emblem, you can see where it buckles together. The snaps are painted silver. It's really, really wicked. I love the belt, love the gloves, love that they went with the more old school pants, basically. The new costume, which I really love, at least at the time of the publication, his suit's changed yet again with the new 52, but his pants are like a solid color now. Even in the new 52, they're a solid color, like a deep, deep green. It really works in the comics, and it's great, but in this, it looks so great with the red underoos and the yellow stripe on the sides. It's a great effect in this one. It really makes it stand out somehow. It's okay on this. Also, his boots are awesome. The talon detail, the fake legs on the boots, it's really cool. It's wonderful. Like I said, it's a blending of the old school and the new school. And his wings, my God, his wings are so fantastic. They put so much time into the sculpt of this figure, it's sick to think about. Every single feather is there. It varies. It's not necessarily just cloned, every single feather. There's some variation in there. Also, there's a slight brownish wash to the wings. It's so well done. I love the peaks at the tip of the wings. It's so great. It's so great. The bad, and this is where I'm gonna get nitpicky because there's really not much bad about this figure. Mine has a slightly askew nose detail on there. The paint's just a little bit off on the nostrils, but hey, that's minor, as I said. Another stupid minor little gripe is the fact that the mace is bent. Who cares? You really don't notice it unless you're looking at him from the side, and you're never really looking at it from the side. I'm just glad mine didn't come broken, because most of them did. And the last little nitpick I have is the emblem is a decal, but you know what? I don't care on this figure. I think if they had tried to paint this one, it would have been a mess. So the decal is more than okay for me on this one, plus the fact that I love that version of his logo. It's an aggressive looking hawk logo to go with a very aggressive character, honestly. He's a warrior, he's a fighter, he's a gladiator, so I love the fact that it's an aggressive pose and an aggressive emblem to go with it. The ugly, the mace is the most fragile thing on him. If he falls, that thing's going to snap. The wings on his helmet also, and his wings, of course, but the mace is the weakest point because it's so thin. As I said, most of them came broken in the package, so if you're buying this guy new, check it out before you buy it. See if you can take it out of the package. At the very least, shake it around and make sure nothing's rattling. Overall, absolutely outstanding. This is why I love this series of figures. He looks great with the Justice League. He looks great with the Justice Society. It's just so cool to have these guys break up the monotony of some of these characters. You know, I love how colorful he is. I love how different he looks, and you know, the fact that he's carrying a weapon and he has these wings. It's so cool. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review of Hawkman. Special thanks to my brother Carlisle for his aid in this one. He's a big Hawkman fan, and I talked to him quite a bit about this guy just to make sure I didn't screw up too badly. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay tuned for a quick teaser trailer of the next figure in the line. Another hero, another member of the Justice League International, and one of my favorites, honestly. Another underrated character. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I am the Monkey Boy, aka Jay to his friends. Thanks for watching.